Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome, my dear learners. We are going to watch a video for the subject of education, for the course of Bachelor's in Education, and the paper which covers this particular chapter or the topic is Child Development and Learning. With this particular program, we are going to start the topic of intelligence. And in this particular lecture, we will cover the concept of intelligence. So basically, this is the introductory video for the topic of intelligence. This video is presented by Dr. Iram Khan. The course coordinator and the presenter or subject matter expert for this video is Dr. Iram Khan from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. And the academic expert or reviewer for this video is Professor Jasim Ahmed from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. This video is produced under the project DTH Swayam Prabha channels of MHRD, New Delhi. Hello, my dear learners. Today we are going to start a new topic, which is intelligence. And in this lecture, we are just going to have an introduction with the concept of intelligence. I am Dr. Iram Khan, Assistant Professor at IASC Faculty of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia. So let us start the discussion. First of all, let us see the objectives of this particular lecture. In this lecture, we are going to cover the discussion on the meaning and definitions of intelligence. We are going to explore some of the important facts related to intelligence, and we will also discuss the various misconceptions related to intelligence. So let us start our discussion with the question that what is intelligence? In day-to-day life, an individual is considered intelligent in proportion to his or her success in meeting general life situations. This is a proper common kind of notion, but there is no agreed definition or model of intelligence. If we see different definitions given in certain dictionaries, so by the Collins English Dictionary, intelligence is the ability to think, reason, and understand instead of doing things automatically or by instinct. By the Macmillan Dictionary, intelligence is defined as the ability to understand and think about things and to gain and use knowledge. So intelligence has been defined in many ways. Many times it is regarded with the capacity of being logical, then having the understanding, self-awareness, learning, emotional knowledge, reasoning, planning, then creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and many more. So, more generally, it can be described as the ability to perceive or infer information and to retain it as knowledge to be applied towards adaptive behaviors within an environment or in a certain context. So, right from the dawn of civilization, man has often wondered about individual differences in abilities, but it remained unclear till the third quarter of the 19th century. After when efforts were made about understanding its complex nature. Intelligence is a broad term that is employed by us in general to denote the presence of qualities such as alertness, then quickness of mind, a level of a person's academic success, status in an occupation, or the acquisition of an eminence in a particular field of endeavor, and it can be many more. So all these things are very much common from very beginning about intelligence. But still, I can say that intelligence is hard to define. In the Indian systems of thought, it is actually called as buddhi or intellect, and it is described as an inner instrument which possess wisdom, prudence, emotion, societal values, and relations. But commonly, when people speak of intelligence, they pretend that they share a common definition. However, that understanding of the phenomenon of intelligence may widely vary. For some of the people, quickness of answering a question might reflect intelligence, while for others, leading a successful life might be due to a person's intelligence. Then the psychologists too differ in their definitions of intelligence. We all know that we mean when we use this term of definition, what exactly we mean is actually internalized, but we find it terribly difficult to precisely define it. So we will just see that what are those theoretical definitions of intelligence which are given by lots and lots of different learned people, psychologists. So in general, intelligence has been defined as the sum total of everything which a person knows, as the ability to learn or profit from experience, as the ability to solve problems, or as the ability to cope up with the demands of the environment. We can say that there is nothing wrong with any of these definitions, but the problem arises when we try to search for a definition that seems to say that everything is very much precise. So every information which is actually arranged in a very precise manner, that type of definition is yet to come. So we have been using intelligence as a general label for so many cognitive abilities that it defies a specific definition. So now let us see some of the important definitions of intelligence given by some of the very important educational psychologists. So the first definition which I'm going to read out or quote is of Binet. Binet says that intelligence, that is to say, reasoning, judgment, memory, and the power of abstraction. So this was basically the definition given by Binet for intelligence. So here you can see that he is talking about memory and the power of abstraction. We are just going to make an analysis of all those definitions once we will read out all those definitions in the lecture. So the next one is given by Stern, and it says that intelligence is a general capacity of the individual consciously to adjust his thinking to new requirements. Then the next definition is given by Terman. Terman says that an individual is intelligent in proportion as he is able to carry on abstract thinking. So he is also talking about abstract thinking. Then the next definition is given by Spearman. Spearman says that intelligence is the capacity of the organism to adjust itself to an increasingly complex environment. The next definition is by Wechsler in 1944. Basically, in 1944, Wechsler gave a definition of intelligence, which he himself revised later on in 1975. So, first of all, we will see the definition which he gave in 1944. In 1944, he defined intelligence in this way. Intelligence as a hypothetical construct is the aggregate or global capacity of the individual to act purposefully, to think rationally, and to deal effectively with his environment. So this was given by him in 1944. He himself revised the definition of intelligence in 1975, and then he gave the definition in this way: the capacity of an individual to understand the world about him and his resourcefulness to cope with its challenges. So this definition is the revised version of Wechsler's definition, which he gave in 1975 for the term intelligence. The next definition is given by Gardner. Gardner has a very big name whenever we are talking about intelligence. He has given a very important theory of multiple intelligences. We are going to discuss multiple intelligences theory in another lecture. So the definition given by Gardner says a human intellectual competence must entail a set of skills of problem solving, enabling the individual to resolve genuine problems or difficulties that he or she encounters, and when appropriate, to create an effective product, and must also entail the potential for finding or creating problems, thereby laying the groundwork for the acquisition of new knowledge. So, this is the definition which is given by Gardner in 1983. The next definition is given by Sternberg in 1997. According to Sternberg, intelligence comprises the mental abilities necessary for adaptation to, as well as shaping and selection of any environmental context. So here Spearman and then Gardner, then Terman, all of these people, and now recently the definition given by Sternberg, all of these people are talking about some sort of adaptation. So a common element of several of these definitions that we have quoted is adaptation. The ability to modify a person's behavior to meet the environmental demands. A second common element is the ability to think abstractly using symbols, the ability to acquire new information or to learn through experience is similarly the third common element. However, it appears that the quest for a satisfactory definition of intelligence is an unending search. But still, we can say that few of those definitions give us some sort of idea that what exactly definition of intelligence actually mean to us. So, dear students, now let us see some of the important facts which are related to intelligence. As of now, we have seen the different definitions of intelligence, so it will be much more easier to comprehend these important facts which are related to intelligence. So, the first fact is that the relationship of intelligence is with the environment. So, there have been too many attempts on the part of different psychologists to weigh the relative importance of nature and the nurturance or the environmental factors. So the conclusion of their studies reveal that intelligence is the product of heredity and environment. Both are equally necessary for the intellectual growth of an individual. We can't say that any of these, the heredity and the environment, is having much more importance. So both are equally important for the proper intellectual growth of an individual. So the next important fact about intelligence is the distribution of intelligence. So we can see that there are individual differences with regard to distribution of intelligence in nature. As we can see that in different sort of things, dimensions, all the individuals or human beings are different. We are different in our health, in our physical appearance, in our wealth, and many more things. So this distribution is governed by a definite principle, which is actually in this way we can mention that the majority of people are at the average, a very few bright and a very few dull. So it makes a kind of bell-shaped curve where we can see that the most of the population actually occur in the average section. So this is basically the fact which is related to intelligence in terms of distribution of intelligence. Now let us see the next fact, and this is related to the growth of intelligence in individuals. As a child grows in age, so does the intelligence, as we can see this particular thing through different intelligence tests. Now the question arises, at what age does this increase ceases or stops? The age of cessation of mental growth varies from individual to individual. However, in majority of cases, intelligence reaches its maximum somewhat at the age of around 16 or 20 in different human beings. So after that, the vertical growth of intelligence basically stops or ceases. But the horizontal growth, that is the accumulation of knowledge and acquisition of skills, continues throughout the lifespan of an individual. So as we grow, we actually gain a lot of knowledge, and it actually improves our memory and it actually improves our intelligence. It improves our skills and it makes us much more mature in terms of our cognitive abilities. So this was related to the growth of intelligence in individuals. Now let us see the next important fact, which is the relationship of intelligence with sex differences, or we can say the gender differences. So various studies have been conducted to find out whether women are less intelligent than men or men are less intelligent than women. So these studies resulted that the researchers actually hang on in one way or the other. Basically, in some of the cases, no significant difference has been found. Therefore, it can be inferred that it can't be the intelligence is it can't be actually associated with a particular sex. We can't say that men are more intelligent than women or women are more intelligent than men. So it is proper to think that difference in sex does not contribute towards difference in intelligence. So both men and women are equally intelligent. So this is something which came out of when we researched about the relationship of intelligence with sex differences. So now let us see the next important fact related to intelligence, which is the intelligence and racial or cultural difference. So in our country, though racial discrimination is not prevailing, so we are fortunate enough to be in this country where racial discrimination is not there. But still, caste or different cultural groups, actually there is a question that arises at times, that who is superior, which caste or race or cultural group is superior, in order to see the difference of their intelligences. So we can make hypothesis on this, and we can go ahead and make a research work done on this topic. But it has been a like burning problem from centuries in the United States of America, where we can see that the blacks and the whites, the two races, were always struggling in order to seek the answer for this question, that whom is the better race, who is the much more important race. But now it has been established that intelligence is not the right of a particular race or a group. So the bright and the dull can be found in any race, caste or cultural group, and the differences which are found can be explained in terms of environmental influences, but not the uh, due to the racial discrimination or maybe the cultural group, the differences in the cultural group. So it is now actually a established fact that intelligence is actually neutral to all these things. It is only related to the environmental influences. So students, now let us see some of the prevailing misconceptions about intelligence. So whenever we talk about intelligence, there are certain things which are confused with this term of intelligence, which are actually come under the category of misconceptions. So we have to clear out all these misconceptions whenever we are teaching or we are making any discussion about the term of intelligence. So there are a number of misconceptions which are prevalent about the nature and concept of intelligence. For the clarification, let us be very much clear that what is not meant by intelligence. So the first point which I would like to keep here is that intelligence is not knowledge. Though acquisition of knowledge depends to a great extent on intelligence. So we can say that intelligence basically is not knowledge, but wherever we are going to acquire knowledge, intelligence is very much required. So if we possess less intelligence, or there is less intelligence within an individual, it will be difficult to acquire knowledge, but it still not means that intelligence is knowledge. So intelligence is not knowledge, but acquisition of knowledge depends on intelligence. So now let us come to the second misconception, which is that intelligence is not memory. A very intelligent person may have a dull memory. or it can be said in a reverse way, that a less intelligent person can have a very sharp memory. And if you go and observe in the society, you can find such people who are not considered very intelligent, but they have got very sharp memory. So this is something which is again a very widespread misconception. So this is now have to be made clear that intelligence is not memory. Intelligence is different from memory. Then we come to the next misconception, which is that intelligence is no guarantee against abnormal behavior. So, the backwardness and delinquency, in spite of the fact that it is one of the major factors contributing towards achievement, adjustment, and character formation, we can't say that those people who actually are backward or who are delinquent or who are involved in any sort of activity which is not accepted by the society, they are not intelligent. At times, we have found that those people who are involved in criminal activities are very intelligent people. But just because of the environment and the circumstances, they have not used their intelligence in a positive manner for the like uh, goodwill of the society. So that's why their intelligence has become harmful for the society. So this fact is also very much clear that intelligence is no guarantee against abnormal behavior. So these were the prevailing misconceptions about intelligence. So with this, we have come to an end of this lecture. Basically, this lecture was a kind of introduction of the term or this particular topic of intelligence. We have got many other lectures which are going to cover all those details which are related to intelligence, like the theory of intelligence, different theories of intelligences, and then the measurement of intelligence, and many more other things which is related to intelligence. So intelligence, uh, the introduction of intelligence is covered here. We have seen that intelligence can be considered as a kind of mental energy or cognitive ability which helps an individual in solving actual life problems and leading a happy and well contented life. Then we have discussed the various definitions of intelligence which are given by different eminent sociologists and different psychologists. Then some important facts related to intelligence were discussed. We have also seen some prevailing misconceptions related to intelligence. So I hope that all these points would be a kind of premise building for the other lectures which are related to intelligence. Hope you have comprehended all these things, and I will see you in another lecture. Thank you so much. These are few of the references which were referred while preparation of this particular lecture. I hope that you can even refer these particular books and articles if you want to gain much more knowledge about intelligence. Thank you so much. So this was a video on the topic of intelligence. In this lecture, we have just made an introduction of the concept of intelligence. This video lecture was recorded by faculty at home during the national lockdown period for COVID-19 pandemic using minimal technical resources. Technical errors, if any, are unintentional and may please be ignored. For any queries with regard to this lecture or broadcast, kindly send your email to techsupport@dth.ac.in. Thanks.